Hey there, my name is Kay Moon, and I am a twin flame channel and Western astrologer. And this is a review of a review of the Lightworker Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild, and a giveaway of this deck as part of a larger subscriber thank you celebration going on the channel. Um, this celebration is to thank each and every one of you who have taken the time to subscribe to the channel, listen to the messages, find what resonates for you, leave positive and uplifting comments, share the channel with your friends and family. I cannot thank you enough for allowing me to share my gift and the guidance that I have received with you. Um, it's been such a treat to get to know each and every one of you who has subscribed. So, as if you feel called and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. In this video for notifications. In this video, what I'm going to do is review the Oracle deck that I have found so enchanting and that I am so enamored with right now, called the Lightworker Oracle. This giveaway that I'm doing will be open until, I believe, Friday. So you've got about a good 5 days. I may extend it one day to Saturday. We'll see how things go. This will be open through the end of the week, and the winner will be announced via email no later than September 5th, 2019. So be sure to include your email when following the links. I'll just show you really quick. There's a link that you can follow to enter to win the Lightworker Oracle deck. This link to this page will be just below this video, and the first pinned comment. There will be 3 questions here. All are multiple choice, all are figure outable based on the information on the channel. So if you've been a regular subscriber, this should be a piece of cake for you. Definitely leave an email, a valid email, so I can email you if you've won. Also, I need an address that I can send the deck to if you've won. And that's it. It's just 3 questions and then an email, and then I'll be announcing the winner next week. So, or no later than next week. So I'm super pumped. This has been such a treat and such a wonderful way to celebrate the opening of the channel, the first 1,000 subscribers with each of you. So I'm going to go ahead and open this review of the deck. I asked for a piece of guidance for those of you who have feel called to enter the contest, the giveaway contest. At the first one that popped out, the guidance was unplug from mass consciousness, card number 7. And at the very bottom of the deck, there was card number 24, initiation by air. 2 things that I love right away about this. The visuals in this particular deck speak so loudly. They speak 1,000 words to what the card is about, and it allows you, if you tap into the visuals, to really sink into your own meaning before you read what Alana Fairchild has written. And in this visual, unplug from mass consciousness, you can see these 3 individual souls who have decided to take a stairway within instead of being so focused on the outer world. And that just seems right on the money for for where life is at. And certainly a big piece of my message and my work has been about encouraging each of you to listen to your own intuition. I get guided messages from my guides about the twin flame journey. But to your own intuition, always be true. Never override what your intuition is telling you about your personal experience with what someone else is saying, no matter who they are. I share my guidance to help those of you who have received guidance of your own uh, receive confirmation and resonance for what you have been shown yourselves. And for those of you for whom my work doesn't resonate, it's totally fine. I have a live and let live policy around my life and what I share. If it doesn't resonate, there are so many other amazing people sharing guidance on the twin flame journey on the internet. I am certain that you are going to find one who can help validate what's been shown to you about your journey. With the bottom of the deck, card number 24 being initiation by air, connected to this unplug from mass consciousness piece. It almost, the two of them kind of speak in this really lovely way to going within and allowing the divine to come and speak to us directly in our heart space about what it is that is the truth for us. And this guide deck, the Oracle, the Lightworker Oracle Guidebook, I find is a wonderful, wonderful way to be able to do that. So I'll share one or two pieces from Unplug from Mass Consciousness, card number 7. What I like about each particular message for each card is that she gives an overview, then she does an in-depth, deeper meaning of the card, and then she ends it with an invocation. So I'll just start with Unplugged from Mass Consciousness's overview. And she says, there is a belief system based on fear, doubt, and distrust that is known as mass consciousness. It says it is safer to stay with the crowd, not to question what you have been taught. It says that you cannot trust the divine to take care of your financial well-being or your emotional needs. And it says you should be afraid and not take risks. It says that if you dare to stand up and live your truth, you'll be lost and alone, humiliated, rejected, or even destroyed. You are being guided to unplug from that system of beliefs. You are capable of a more creative, more loving, and more soul-satisfying way of living. To access this, let go of the way that is too small for your soul. And that when I asked, like for anyone who feels called to enter the giveaway, what's the message for that person? And this just pops right out. It just makes so much sense. Because as I said, the images in this deck just communicate so much. And they're all really elegant and very beautifully done. And they give you they have so much light in them, and they really share so much about how to go within just in the images alone to seek that which is meant for you inside of you. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention that's really important to say is that this giveaway is not affiliated in any way with YouTube or with Alana Fairchild. That disclaimer, super important. I'll probably say it again at the end. Back to the regularly scheduled program. The other thing that I really love about the things that Alana shares in each of the guidebook pieces of wisdom pertaining to each card is that you can see that the base framework that she's working with and communicating from is unconditional love. There's so much permission and so much freedom and so much do the thing that works for you. Love yourself in the way that loving you needs to be done. Let others do the same. There's so much of that in every single card and attached to every piece of wisdom and guidance attached to the cards that it just had such a deep resonance for me because I know unconditional love is a guiding principle of my own life. And it has been revealed to me that it is a guiding principle or even the point of the twin flame journey, which I sometimes talk about on the channel. I also love about the way she talks about the guidance in each particular card, that it restores power to the individual and it allows them to own their own light and to share it. Card number 24, Initiation by Air, is a great example of that. The introduction to this card says, "You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power?" So, again, by asking that question at the end of this particular guidance for card number 24, she's restoring the power to the reader, like, and saying, you have choice here. You get to choose love or fear. What is it going to be? And for a person who has, dedicated their life to walking a path of love, this particular oracle deck is just such a treat to support you. I'll show you really quick. That's about the size of the deck. I had to think of like what I could compare the deck size to. That's a fork. So you have an understanding of how big the deck actually is and how big the cards are. And here are a couple of choice pieces from the introduction. And again, if you feel really called to enter the giveaway contest, you can just click the link below this video. It'll take you to this page where there will be 3 questions, and then just let me know where I can let you know you've won and where I can send your deck if you've won it. You can go ahead and do that while listening to this video if you feel so called. But there are a couple things she shares in the very beginning of the guidebook that I wanted to share with you, those of you who are listening, so you can get a better sense of, okay, so what am I actually getting myself into? If I don't win the deck, but I want to make an investment and purchase this deck, what am I getting myself into? It is a 44 card deck. And here's what she shares about it. This oracle deck was created for those who want to connect with their divine light, accelerate their spiritual evolution, and develop their connection with higher spiritual guidance. This deck is perfect for you if you're looking to open up to the unconditionally loving higher spiritual worlds. Walk the path of a healer, lightworker, or spiritual mentor for others on the path of consciousness. Or learn about spiritual light and incorporate it into your life so you can live with greater peace. She writes, do I have to be a light worker to use this deck? No, if you love this deck, then it's meant for you, she says. She has a how to use this deck session, and then she goes in depth about what are light workers, which I just love because, there's so many ways that people talk about light work and light workers and different people who identify themselves as light workers. I didn't really identify with that term much until I had my twin flame awakening. I mean, I've always, of some sort been a healer, had healing abilities. I've always, done my best to do right by people and stay in the place of positivity and permission, knowing that everyone's on their journey and doing their best. But she really goes in depth to help you identify for yourself if you are a light worker. She goes on to say, light workers are what I call old souls. They may be healers. They may be office workers. They may be in any profession at all, not just following a spiritual vocation. Yet all light workers possess certain qualities. They have an interest in being of service. They want to live a life of passion and purpose and have their life mean something at a spiritual level. They care about issues that stir their hearts, and they believe that the world would be more loving and peaceful if human beings were not so fearful. That for me did it. Totally resonated. But she's got an entire 2 other pages about this. And then at the end of those 2 pages, she's got 2 quizzes you can take. One of them that says, could I be a light worker? and a little checklist of about 10 different things that let you know whether or not you are. One of them is your mood seemed to be affected by stronger forces than just your day-to-day experiences, such as natural disasters you see on the news or spending time with people who are depressed, unwell, or angry. Um, Another one is you are often referred to as sensitive or emotional or compassionate or perhaps a soft touch or a pushover in the shadow. And then she's got a Are You a Lightworker quiz. If you answer yes to more than 4 of the questions below, you are a Lightworker. And she's got 14 questions here to help you figure out if being a Lightworker is, or whether or not energetically you are already being a Lightworker. And you can become a light worker if you would like to. If you haven't identified with the term before, but you're resonating with everything that's being said, then by all means, you can dedicate your life to channeling unconditional love and light for others if you feel so called. So yeah, on the quiz question number 3, some of my favorite questions are, do you feel the need to live your own life, even if it is unusual or different? Another one of my favorite questions is it important for you to think for yourself and follow your own inner truth? Another one of my favorite questions is, do you need time with people as well as time to be alone in solitude to feel well and balanced? Um, and just to the opposite of that, but also equally important, do you tend to gather communities around you or find people drawn to you and your ideas? All of this is, emblematic of one being a light worker. And there's another, 11 questions there on that quiz. But there's something that I really wanted to share about why this deck is very important for people who are twin flames, because I know a large segment of those who watch my channel are twin flames. She writes, Lightwork is a form of spiritual healing that specifically targets personal and planetary evolution. Lightwork, through the universal law of resonance and vibration, help you raise your own energetic vibration. And what's been revealed to me is that twins are a type of light worker. There are many other types on the planet at this time. But one of the ways that twins fulfill on what they're here to do is by, once they meet their twin, they get into this vibration of unconditional love for that person. And it's in resonating at the frequency of unconditional love that they transform their lives and the lives of everyone they touch after that point. They do not love the same. They do not feel the same to the people around them. Energetically and vibrationally, they are quite different human beings than they were prior to that. So for me, that was just like, oh, yes, this is it. This is why I'm so drawn to this deck, because she talks about light work being about personal and planetary evolution, and that, the light work being about being in that energetic resonance and that energetic frequency, and then transforming others simply by your beingness in that state. So that's a huge piece of what's been revealed to me about the twin flame journey. Not all of it. There's other stuff in the channeled messages, but that really resonated for me. And her cards really talk about stepping into that energy. So I went ahead and pulled some additional guidance for those of you who are kind of called to this deck, because I wanted you guys to get a sense of the other cards and what they all looked like. So I'll just pull, I said, what else would be helpful for people to know? And these 3 cards popped out. So for anyone who's called to this deck or wants to enter to win it, the cards that popped out for you are card number 6, Fourth Ray of Harmony. again, the visuals just say so much. There's an open doorway through the heart that is being channeled through the mind and the third eye here, that connects one to the all that is. So beautiful. We've got card number 34, hold your center. We've got this woman sitting in the middle of a beautiful archway, where it looks like a piece of her divine energy is speaking directly to the divine above her. And then we've got card number 28, Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. And these are both about healing. So I'll let you kind of use your own intuition on these rather than reading them, and take which one resonates for you. If it wasn't one, it may be another, or it might be all three. But this energy here about really tuning into self, channeling the light, holding your center, and being on a healing mission for oneself. It's just such powerful energy communicated at this time, which is a time of great change on planet Earth, for you as Lightworker, about how to stand inside of this moment of great change. So I only have like one complaint about the deck, and actually two. My two complaints about the deck. My first one is the lack of diversity displayed within the deck. We still live within a time where there is just so much divisiveness based around either culture, skin color, race, ethnicity. And for a deck that is about unity consciousness in so many ways, via light, via love, I find that subconsciously really reinforces the stereotype, with its imagery, that, black skin, brown skin, yellow skin types aren't associated with light, which, I mean, come on, we all know at this point on planet Earth that that's not true. So the oversight on this was just really disheartening for me to see. And so, but I mean, we all understand the truth of the fact that, that's just not true. But I just wish that the creators of the deck would have taken that obvious fact into obvious consideration, and made the deck to really reflect the light among all people, in all skin tones. That would have elated me personally, because it would have really spoken to the subconscious truth that is, there's light within every one of us, and we all know that. And it's time for us as humans on planet Earth to start recognizing that, in a more real way, than just kind of walking around namasteing each other. So that was a disappointment. The other thing that is a little frustrating, but not totally, because my deck is brand new, is that the cards are a little thin, and I can see that they can probably get really worn over time with consistent use and consistent shuffling. I have another deck like this on the same similar kind of paper, and it can just the edges can get worn and torn, the image peeled back from the card a little bit, and so that I don't love that. But it's still a great deck and completely worth having, especially if you're in the process of needing to source your own inner guidance with a little prompting from an outer world deck. Lastly, I'll just share that this deck comes with, it's a 44 card deck. Let me see if I can make this a little larger for you. It's a 44 card deck with, all kinds of different things that you can pull out. You can use it in so many ways, to close a reading, to begin a reading, if you are a reader, to guide your week. What's the energy you need to be focusing on, or what was the lesson of the current week that I'm supposed to be tuning into? At the end of a week, you can pull that. You can also use the deck if you're thinking about, trying to figure out your purpose on the planet, and, pull cards about your soul path at this time, or the things that you're giving to others, or what you need to be on the lookout for in terms of receiving from life. all of this is, par for the course and the kinds of questions that can be answered with this beautiful deck. So, yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough. The disappointments are the disappointments, but as I said, I have a live and let live philosophy on things like that. So, you take the good, let the bad live where it's going to live, and you keep moving. So, to enter, if you feel called to bring this deck home, all you've got to do is click the link below this video. You want to go ahead and answer these 3 questions. All the answers can be found in videos on the channel. And then tell me where to send your deck. Tell me how to let you know you've won, and then tell me where to send your deck if you've won. Again, this giveaway is not affiliated with YouTube or Alana Fairchild in any way. It's just something I felt like doing to thank subscribers because I think you guys are awesome. And let's see. Last thing. You do need to answer all the questions correctly. I think that's a no-brainer. You don't have to be a subscriber to the channel or to be a winner, but I won't say that I'm unbiased in any way. So if you're called, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And then there are 2 remaining pieces of the subscriber thank you celebration that I'm really pumped to share with you. The first one is I'm going to do low-cost readings on Monday, August 26th at 7 p.m. They will be available to non-clients. So if we've already spoken this year, I'm so sorry. This is for new folks. And if you've already got an appointment with me, I'm so sorry. Our personal one-on-one time together is going to be so much richer and fulfilling than what you could get in a 10-minute micro read. This is really exclusively and specifically for people that can't do a 10-minute micro read. You will need PayPal or Venmo to make a payment in order to get your 10-minute micro read with me. If you don't have that in your country, I am so sorry. I do not take payment in any other way. It is just those 2 formats at this time. And then the second opportunity will be live channeling with my guides on Wednesday, August 28th at 7 o'clock Eastern. So I've never done this before. It's a little bit of an experiment for me, but they seem to have a lot to say about being a twin flame. So, I've been sharing guidance as it comes in on the channel. And if you've got questions about being a twin flame, then bring your questions. I'd be curious to know what they have to say. There are things you may ask that, they've just never spoken to me about. So it'd be interesting to see what they have to say. Questions that they cannot answer and that I'm not attuned to answer at this time are questions about whether or not this is your twin flame, or personal questions about what your twin flame is up to. They don't do that. I don't do that. We're the work that they and I are kind of communed around or aligned around has to do with overall questions about the journey, what it means, where it's at, all of that. What's perhaps what's coming. I don't know. I've never tried to ask them what's coming. I've mostly just asked them why, because it's just been so, how can I put it? Such an interesting ride. So if you've got why questions as well, bring them. I'm sure they have things to say, as they have had plenty to share with me about things. So once again, thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for being a subscriber. It's an honor and a pleasure. I look forward to announcing the winner of this contest sometime on or before September 5th. So if I close it before you've had a chance to enter, I'm so sorry. I've just got to work this into my timelines in the 3D world. So do the best you can to enter as soon as you're ready. Take great care. Bye for now.